pumpkin vibe.
Oh, yeah.
The
Harvest.
stripes
Oh,
and
yes.
the matching striped.
How many? You guys get a lot of regulars, don't you?
We do, yeah.
Every
So many
day.
regulars.
Like, I think everyone's, like, the amount of people that I see post about, like, you just, and what's great is I'm also like, oh, I know that person. Oh, I know that person.
Oh, yeah.
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 That looks red to me.
Yeah, no, I hit the record button just in case. We're
Perfect.
bantering. Yeah, we're just
okay.
bantering,
This
just
is
to like
just
loosen
B-roll.
up, just
Yeah.
to loosen up.
Yeah, let it loose.
Cameron's been coming in since the beginning. So we do see people come in and come out. Like today, someone came in that's like, I got a good job. I'm moving to Florida. And I was like, no.
I know.
No more morning coffee.
Yeah.
Or afternoon.
Yeah, I miss them.
Do miss them. We get to know all these people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
part of their morning ritual for months at a time. It's pretty cool.
So you
And
get to
then
see
they move.
people pre-coffee and post-coffee.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they don't need to say anything. Just grumble like, okay, got you.
All right, you wanna jump in?
Sure.
All right. We've been messing around with the intro. We don't know if this is how it's gonna actually
She's been
come
messing
out.
around with the intro.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I got a vision, and we haven't gone live with it
I'm
yet.
just along
So
for the
like
ride. I'm not-
the intro music, we still got to put that
I was
together.
going to say, are you going to
That-
sing us in?
Oh, absolutely not. I
Serenades are the best of them.
was
yeah.
given a tour once, and my group and I passed by another guy that was singing to his group.
Nice.
And I looked back at them, and I'm like, I'm not doing that for you guys.
Which is also a little, like, disparaging, because you walk by the guy who's, like, serenading his tour,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Shoot.
we're not doing that.
I need to
But
do something
if
better.
you still want to give me tips, that's cool. But I'm not going to sing for you.
Well,
It's
you
like,
know.
It's like Henry V. I don't know what he does. It's like it's a real, yeah. Anyway.
Anyway. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Salem, the podcast. We are your hosts and favorite Salem tour guides. My name is Sarah Black.
And I'm Jeffrey Lilly. And today, we're going to be sitting down with the owners of Odd Meter Coffee.
So welcome, guys.
Hi.
Thank you. Good
How
to be
you
here.
doing?
We got coffee. You provided us with coffee.
Was it any good before we continue the podcast?
Hold on. Stand by.
This might be a deal breaker, folks.
Sipping.
No, that's delicious.
It's incredible.
Okay, thank God.
So, Angelica and Eric, thank you so much for joining us. You are our first duo, so it's going to be a fun time here. We're actually sitting inside Odd Meter, so this is also our first on-site interview.
On site. Yeah, we're coming to you live in person. Well, I mean,
Not live.
we're okay.
It's happening
You know what
live
I mean.
for us, for
Live,
listeners.
it's live for us right now.
Live
Right
for
now
us.
we're live.
We're staring at Washington Street. I can see Turner's Seafood.
I can
that
see my bank.
very large condominium complex in front of us, right in downtown Salem.
Good for business for you.
Great.
You must be looking forward to that.
We like it.
I think you might be the only people
Hey,
in the city who
there's
do.
my money over there.
So, are you from Salem originally?
No.
No.
I grew up in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I lived much of my adult life in the Berkshires in western Massachusetts.
My gosh.
I've also lived in Austin, Texas for several years. And most recently before here, I moved to Chicago, which is where I met Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Are you a Midwesterner?
No, actually, I'm not.
Oh.
Although it's kind of funny because when you live in a place for a certain point, then you become that. So I lived in Chicago for 3 years, and I thought I was a Chicagoan, but I'm actually from Los Angeles, from the other coast.
Oh, you're transcontinental
Yeah.
all over the place.
Totally.
Welcome
totally.
to the East Side.
Yeah, thank you. This is a good place to call home. I really like it.
You've been here for how long now?
Well, I moved here in 2020. I moved with Angelica, sort of, skipping a few chapters. But we've been on the North Shore since mid-2020, I think.
We moved here in May of 2020.
Right.
Oh, wow. So, like, in the midst of the pandemic.
In the midst
Oh,
of the
yeah.
pandemic. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually doing some digging on your Instagram. I went all the way down to the bottom to the first one, and I checked out the date, when you signed your lease. I love that you guys were already becoming a part of the city before you even, had the space, really.
Yeah.
Like, it was instant.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
I remember so that was, just coming out of lockdown time frame, right?
We opened
No, in the middle of lockdown.
January 13th
Oh, you opened before.
of 2021.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 2021.
Yeah, January 13th
Yeah.
of 2021. But we had decided, I think it was in April of before we even moved here, we made the final decision that it was going to be Salem.
So obviously you're local-ish,
Yeah, local-ish.
And did you know, why Salem? Like, what was the vibe that drew you here? Because, there's a vibe that draws a lot of people here.
And people come
Totally.
for so many different reasons as well.
As good strategists, we did quite a lot of research, like from the mind, demographic research, psychographic research, and everything lined up with who we wanted to be around, who we thought our customer was. But then we came here and we were just like, oh yes, this is so us. It's a weird and quirky town. It's incredibly inclusive. It's progressive. It's fun. It's wild. It's witchy. Everything we are. So we just knew that this was the perfect fit, that this town would get us, and we got this town, and we just knew it had to be. And then we had to find a spot. So it took us a long time to find the spot, months. We were looking for
it
the
took
right
us a
spot.
while.
Were there any other top contenders? I'm imagining what Odd Meter would have been somewhere else, because I feel like you couldn't ask for a better spot on the main drag.
Well, I mean, we can talk about the previous owners of this location.
What was this before? I can't even remember.
It was a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh my God!
So there is a coffee lineage.
If
Yeah.
you could
Although-
There's
call it
coffee in the walls, basically.
Yes.
that. Not anymore.
We still have the tiles in the back if you need
We
proof.
stripped it down to the studs.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I remember.
Did it still have the Dunkin' smell?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's lingering sometimes. You'll be walking through at night, and you're like, the ghost of Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts.
Duncan,
Definitely
we
not.
love you. Please don't sue us. But
We exercised all of that.
And turned it into a beautiful space. I think you have a very unique vibe compared to most of the coffee shops in town. It's very bubbly and bright, and I love all the plants that we're surrounded by. May I ask what
Thank you.
inspired this kind of style? Or is it just you?
yeah, it's a mixture. I mean, Odd Meter's definitely been like a brainchild of Angelica and myself with regards to the name and the vibe, but it's also been a collaboration with our interior designer and our contractor, and a lot of people have kind of put their own, I wouldn't say spin, but just their contribution to what the vibe is.
So I got to ask you. You mentioned the name,
Yeah,
Odd Meter Cop. What is that?
totally.
Well, what is Odd Meter?
That's you, babe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I better go for that one. So it's basically an odd rhythm within the context of music. If you were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of a beat that most people know, an odd count just has an extra beat, and so you end up getting kind of a shuffle that creates sort of a funky feel. And so taking that funky feel in the context of personality and who we are, we're kind of offbeat, we're funky, but we're still pretty cool, just like Salem.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's so cool.
I love that. And no, that totally fits.
Somewhat related, but kind of unrelated. One of my favorite breweries right over in Beverly is called Backbeat Brewery.
Right.
And it's the backbeat. It's the backbeat. I didn't know what it was, and if you're not a music person, it doesn't really translate right away, but the concept is so cool.
It's cool just to also point out that we've had a lot of customers and fans come in with alternative theories of what the name
Oh my
comes
gosh.
from. It has
Okay,
to do
what's come on? Hit us with some of those.
one has to do with parking meters, which I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. And then for those that are listening but can't see, there's a big mural in the front of our shop. There are 2 otters, like the creature and otter.
odd.
People are like, oh, it's
Oh,
odd meter.
odd.
And it's not, but I love that.
People are creative.
It's, especially when you give them a reason to be creative, but not an answer to their solution. They're like, well, what is it?
I mean, I'd love to be like, art's your own interpretation, even though there is
But
kind of
at the same,
specific.
you can have fun with it. You can be like, it's whatever you want it to be, but you're also a little wrong.
But that's not it.
That's
That's great. That's
Totally.
great.
So, this offbeat, odd meter, coffee little adventure in Salem. What is that? What's your business about? I mean, it's about coffee, which we can talk about coffee too. Oh, I have a very important coffee question. in a
Sure.
little bit,
Cool.
but not right now.
Okay.
But tell us Tell us about your business.
Yeah, so for us, business is a way that we can live our values. Like if you own your own business, you get to do it any way you want. I mean, given that you make money.
Yeah.
So you can stay in business. But one thing that's really important for us, having had difficult work experiences, struggled with making enough money to make ends meet, was to provide a human-centered business model. And remember, this was before the pandemic, and before people started working from home and quitting their jobs in droves was when we were planning this. So we were feeling that like work is really harmful to most humans here in the United States. I can't speak for other places, but we wanted to make it a place where you're human first. You're not labor hours. You're not like a debit on the balance sheet. You're a human being, that we're interdependent with each other. Like we can't run this business without our staff, and we provide a living to them, and that everybody who works deserves a decent living. Like you deserve to be able to pay your rent. You deserve to be able to get sick, so and be understood, or go home if you're having allergy attacks and things like that. So that's the human part of things.
Well, thank you.
It's missing. I was going to say that's missing in a lot of businesses today.
We've been really surprised at not surprised that that's really meaningful to people, but when we do things like we closed an extra day in October because we only had 4 people on staff and we had lines of 50 people out the door and we were exhausted. And while our staff was still getting 2 days off a week, we weren't. And it was just too much. And so we were just like, the money is October money, but we were like, we're all as human beings more important. So, or a snow day like the one coming up, we have to weigh in the balance, and we'll talk to people like, what's more important to you? Like, do you want the hours, or do you want to not have to deal with getting to work in the snow? And then we'll incorporate everybody's needs into our decisions. Payroll is by far our biggest expense, and we put that first and foremost and build everything around that to the best of our ability. As long as people are working here, that's how it goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's been like, I come from, working in service, working as a barista for other people, working in restaurants, and I've done it, in all sorts of different types of places where they didn't know anything about coffee, to places that took coffee really seriously, and I love the science and the technical part of coffee, but I love taking care of people and just like serving them and being a part of their day, kind of like we talked about earlier, like getting to be a part of their morning.
Right.
There's something there's a connection there that's beautiful, even if it lasts a few minutes at a time, and we take coffee seriously here. Like we dial things in and we're pretty particular about our recipes, but we didn't want that to be the point of it.
Seriously enough.
Yeah, seriously enough. Like there's kind of a chefy trend in coffee to, spill over like these culinary trends of, I don't know, nothing.
Be a bit extra.
Yeah, it's cool. Nothing against that. It's just that's not totally our vibe. We want it to be like fun and approachable.
It's funny because when I was thinking about it the other day, I compare you guys in my head to like Opus, but they're like, they're making cocktails at night. You guys make coffee cocktails, basically. It's not super, super intricate, but there's definitely something to be said about your seasonal recipes there. So
thanks.
Don't sell yourself short.
We shake things up sometimes, literally in shakers.
Yeah,
I love it. It's awesome.
So what's with all your drinks? So I'm drinking raspberry something. My apologies.
The razzmatazz.
And Sarah's got a sinful,
I got the spicy cayenne cinnamon one.
Sinful cinnamon.
It's got a
Sinful
kick to
cinnamon.
it.
I love it.
That's the one I had the other day.
I know. I loved it so much I had to get one for myself this time.
Yeah.
So, but these change.
We used it's sort of monthly. It's kind of moving to being on the wheel of the year, the pagan wheel of the year, because that's what the natural seasons are, versus just like arbitrary months. Mm-hmm. So the drinks we have on the menu right now are February drinks. They are celebrating love more than Imulk, so we're not we're not serving sheep's milk in our drinks, unfortunately. We'll move towards that.
You'll get there.
But, we have that. These two drinks, which are sort of like the rich and sweet, chocolate raspberry, and then that sort of spicy, sexy cayenne, cinnamon, vanilla, type of thing. But we have, we change up we have a house-made soda that we do, and so
That's a weird thing.
it is, because not everybody wants coffee, and particularly in the summer, people sometimes want something refreshing. And the one that we have right now is called the Sap's Rising, because that's actually what's happening in nature right now. You can notice that the buds on the trees nearby you are swelling. That's because the sap has come up, and if you have ever seen or have ever tapped trees yourself, this is the time for it. I used to tap the maple trees in my yard and make maple syrup for many years.
Can we expect freshly tapped syrup?
No. No. The maple trees outside our house are like,
Babies.
they're babies.
20 years from now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
We'll
the whole
get-
time.
yeah.
Come back.
Yeah, I killed many a lobster pot doing that in my life.
So speaking of the Wheel of the Year, one of you is pagan and the other identifies as a witch.
So both of us are pagan.
Both pagan.
And I identify as a witch. Yep.
I was chatting with a friend of mine prior to this, and we were talking about your recipes, and she was saying, I love their drinks, I love their seasonal offerings, and they always have interesting ingredients, and it always feels a little bit mystical and witchy. I said, that's actually there for a reason. Like, it's not just because it's Salem, it's because of them.
Yep. I would say it's kind of the other way around. Salem fits us really well because this is a place where, our spirituality, our practices can be totally normalized. Like, you walk past people and you're like, "Happy Equinox," or "Happy Yule," and everybody's like, "Happy Yule!" Like, they know exactly what you're talking about. And we don't identify the shop as a witchy shop, which would also be totally normal. Someone has said, "Oh, you should open a franchise and be like the Pagan Cafe." And we're like, "No, maybe." You never know what the future holds. But
Hey, if you can open in the middle of COVID, you can do pretty much anything.
I know. Would we? Yeah. Would you? Would you? You want to speak to this?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely who we are and kind of how we identify with, connecting with the natural world, the animals, with trees, and a lot of the decisions I think that we make operationally and recipes we come up with are informed by our connection with the earth and seasons. So we try not to have drinks that are out of season or flavors that aren't in season. It just feels wrong for us.
So I think that's really cool. But I think one thing that's even more cool is that the amount of people who probably don't know that, who come in here and who get the drink and love the drink and don't quite realize maybe why they love the drink is because it does fit the season. It fits the weather. It fits what's going on in them and in the air.
Yep.
And they're like, "This is great. This is so rich. This is festive." And you're like, yeah. But do you know why? And
Right.
they like it for a multitude of reasons, like this layered concept.
Yeah. That's so perfectly articulated, actually. People come in here and they love the vibe. They love the drinks, like you said, and there is sort of a secret mystical layer under that's working that. And, it's nothing we don't push anything on anyone. That's why it's just all below the radar. And as Eric said, it does affect a lot of our operational decisions. You had asked about our business model, so another huge part of it is the way that we try to operate in harmony with the earth. So and reduce the load on the earth. As Eric always says, you just generate so much trash in a coffee shop, and particularly we opened up, everything was to go. It's kind of been,
Back in the couldn't even see. We're sitting in here when you opened. We weren't allowed to do that.
No,
Yeah,
it's a different place.
it's been recent that we've opened up to this, and then there was the vax mandate, and we made it through that fine. It was brief, but it's primarily been a to-go space, and we wanted it to be. I mean, it's a small space, and we were looking for a small space because of that. It's like that quick hit of happy that you get, and so there's a lot to be thrown away, but everything, our cups. are really recyclable, much more so than most cups. Like, we did a lot of research around that. Our to-go cups and our iced cups are actually fully compostable and biodegradable. The straws, the tops, everything. So the like the hand soap that we have in here, things like that, are we get them from a refill from MacRae's in Marblehead, and we just refill it. So we're not using any plastic, things like that.
Are they the one who is in here? Do you want to plug that real quick?
We totally do.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, every first and third Monday of the month, there is a pop-up from MacRae's Sustainable Goods based out of Marblehead. You can come get your dish soap, your hand soap. Am I doing good?
Yeah.
So good. You're like a professional
folks, let me tell you.
announcer. You
Here
sound
in
like
the shop.
Here in the shop.
Yep.
Like right where we're
Right
sitting.
here.
9:30 to about noon. You can come in. You can bring your own containers or buy hers. Jennifer is the owner. Wonderful human. And come check it out. First and third Monday of every month.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
We just started doing that. It's going to continue going as long as she's willing, and it just probably not in October actually.
Everything's different in October.
Yes,
October
we'll have
is
to
the
shut
beast.
it down for October. But yeah, so that's a huge part. I'm like thrilled because we just found a way that we can recycle our nitrile gloves, like the black gloves
Yeah.
that we do to keep everything COVID friendly, and that's been a real thorn in my side,
Yeah.
and so it's expensive. It's a really expensive way to run things, but that's our value. That's
worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's-
Just to elaborate on that, so we love the environment, we love nature, so we have milk from glass bottles. We're gonna start recycling our the nitrile gloves we use, try to go local as much as we can, etc. And that is pretty expensive. It's not the cheapest option, but it matters to us, so we kind of just prioritize it. So that's a part of the business model too.
The more ethical option.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
And-
what matters to us.
Again, thank you for all of that. if no one says thank you to you,
Thanks for caring.
Yeah.
It does seem to matter to people, and again, it's a business model that's like for Eric and me, like a decent living is enough. So yeah, I mean, if you're in it to amass huge amounts of money, you can't run your business that
No.
way. But for us, like a good, moderate, decent living is fine, and that means that we get to spend our money on other things.
And providing jobs to other folks, and they can make a living. And I think a lot of us, we don't feel the best about ourselves when we go out and get a disposable cup of coffee. But if we are supporting a business in town that is supporting their staff and the environment, that's probably the best
Thank you,
option,
guys.
right?
Thank you.
yeah.
Plus, we have such an awesome staff.
Yeah,
You
they're,
too.
they're
are
fantastic.
And,
They're
for
crushing
real.
it.
Every time I come in here, it's warm, welcoming, charitable. They're friendly.
They want to know about
upbeat.
your day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andy, Dylan, Chris, and Jess. Thank you guys so much.
To the point that at first it's a little weird,
You're like, what's wrong with
right?
you
You're like,
guys?
Why are
yeah.
you so happy? You're working in the service industry.
What's the matter with you?
Because they have good bosses, they're getting paid well, and they provide a sustainable product.
And it's them also. Like,
Yeah.
it's the people they are, so it's
So it's a double fit.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of, we just have to be really, really mindful when we hire. So
I was gonna say, do you have like a line of people waiting to get in here and test their skills?
we usually have a few people that, just submit, and we hold on to their resumes when and if someone moves along, and, or there's always, divine timing that happens. Shout out Haley.
Yeah, Haley, you're awesome.
Shout out Haley.
Go Haley.
They're not here right now.
They're not here right
Haley's
now.
not here right now.
Yeah.
See, I know.
Just remember the name, folks. Haley Lauby.
Haley.
So you mentioned
love you.
October.
Oh, yeah.
And this was not only your first season, but like your first October here in Salem as a business. How
So-
was it? Did you make it out alive?
Goodness.
We are.
Barely.
I have to preface this just a little bit. So I've known you guys for ages. I've been coming in here for ages, and like someone who's been through October, I was like, just you try to warn them.
There's no.
There's no warning.
And it's just
No.
like you just have to laugh that you're like it's just trial by fire.
Yep.
So how was your?
I mean, first of all, I'll say it's something like trying to warn someone about their first childbirth.
Okay.
You are never going to be able to describe what that's like. And similarly, you just get in the stirrups and go.
Every day. Every day.
31 days.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
was,
every day times 30.
It was really busy.
It was aight. It was, yeah, I mean, just so many people.
I see the trauma in your eyes.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun because you have so many people that just kind of descend upon the city almost literally like within a day. And the city, I mean, it's alive anyway, but it really is just bustling beyond anything you see any other time of the year.
And you've got this big wall of windows up front. You've got a front row seat
We
to
do.
everything. When they shut down Washington Street, like you've
Every
got
weekend.
which one?
Every weekend.
Every weekend, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I wish they'd shut it down more, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
That's just us guides talking.
Yeah, but you've got a view of some historic buildings. I know that the train station is lit. If anyone's taking the train to get into the city, they're walking past.
Everybody. Everybody. Yeah, no, we were saying earlier, Sarah was saying, like, yeah, so, like, you must get, like, a good clump of people. I'm like, there were hundreds of people that would walk past here every 30 minutes, and you get to see incredible costumes and all the, just the way people, it's goth prom.
Yeah.
So, like,
Goth prom. I loved that.
for some people,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
hocus pocus land for others, and you get to just see all of that. And a ton of those people come in here and wait incredibly patiently outside for like an hour.
I would say kudos to almost all the tourists who come to Salem.
Yeah.
And wait in line. We were talking about this. We had breakfast at Red's this morning, and we're like, people wait hours to get in here.
Hours.
So for any of you who are coming to the city and you do wait in line for hours for any business.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to Salem. Thank you for coming into all of our shops. You are loved. Thank you for your patience with us.
Yeah. Yeah. We found people to be so patient, every time, because they have to wait in line to get in. And then probably what they didn't realize is when they get to the register, there's 25 tickets waiting
it's not
in queue.
what it used to be with Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
It's
They're handmade drinks.
Yeah.
It's very by hand here. And, we always be like, thanks for your patience. And they'd be like, no problem. It was just wonderful. And, we get to share their excitement about being here, much more so in the, end of September, early October, because by the time it's, the full bore, you're
People
not...
are just frustrated.
No, they're fine. It's just we don't really have time to chat.
Right.
We're just...
It's different, yeah.
It's just hammer down.
So jumping off of that just slightly, do you have any horror stories?
So sorry to disappoint.
You're
we
kidding.
literally do not.
Really?
We literally
Really?
do not.
I mean,
Maybe next year.
yeah, there were a few
Hopefully
pressure
not.
tests.
I hope
There were a few pressure tests in the shop, but no, we really didn't. I mean, we had some pretty good people.
I mean,
for
we
the
have
most
one
part.
gory horror story, but it doesn't have anything to do with tourists. The very 1st of October,
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I forgot about that.
it was everybody says, the faucet turns on. And
Yeah.
it was busy in September, busier than we'd been. Okay, we were open 9 months, but And then the 1st of October was a Friday, and it just turned on.
Yeah.
And it was 10 minutes to 4. I know because I had just looked at the clock because I was wiped. And all of a sudden, Haley, glass bottles. We've mentioned both of these things. It was just we were moving fast. We were getting ready to be done. The glass bottle slipped out of their hands and smashed. And there was blood everywhere. There was milk everywhere. And it was a horror show. So that was our
Entry.
baptism
But literally,
Wow.
baptized in blood.
in blood. So
Your first October in Salem was baptized in blood.
it was.
It was.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And everyone's safe and everyone's okay. And all
Everything.
Now,
working.
yes.
Haley had to get 6 stitches, and
Okay.
it was.
It's just some stitches.
Eric took them to the hospital, and we managed, but it was shocking.
It was why it was just 4 people working the entire month of October.
You're kidding.
It was us 2 and 2 of our staff, and it was It was bonkers. And fun.
I'm also just going to say, as this like adorable pug just walked by, we do get the puppy parade here.
yeah.
If you like dogs,
Oh,
it's
yes.
pretty
That's a
fun.
good time.
Yeah.
That's really why we opened this coffee shop, so we could
Right
just
here.
people and puppy watch.
No, so sitting here at the window, I have people. I almost saw a car accident a little while ago. That was fun.
That's frequent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So given that you've had some experience in October, you've had some experience in the city, do you have any advice to give out to people coming to visit Salem?
There is no bathroom.
We are getting them, thankfully.
So to be fair, there haven't been bathrooms.
There
There
haven't.
should be bathrooms opening soon.
Hopefully.
Cross our fingers on that one.
Yeah. Comfortable shoes.
Yes,
And
comfortable
layers.
Layers.
You can never tell with the weather.
Yeah.
Get a
And-
tour, particularly from Jeffrey and Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I actually, so yes, shameless plug, but also I do think it makes a difference when you come to Salem. Obviously, you can walk around and see everything, but when you get someone guiding you and giving you some context and history, it like makes the place so much richer. So, don't not do that.
Thank you.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
We, as you know, Jeffrey, we
Yeah.
did one in September with you.
Yeah.
We finally got it together that our our days could line up, and it was magnificent. We had so much fun. We happened to have some friends in town that weekend, which was the only time that's happened all year. And we got to all go on a tour together, and we had so much fun. And now, like, everything looks different to me when
Yeah.
I see it. Like, I'm like, oh, that happened there. And
And you have a better idea of what Salem has been and
Yeah.
the history of the streets and,
Yeah.
and the corners and where you are.
yeah, and the middle of the streets.
Yes. You also have
Where
a
everything
view
used
of,
to be. Yeah.
of where the courthouse would
Yeah,
have
that's
once
so
been.
cool.
If it was still there, I'd just be looking at it right out the
Right.
window.
And now it's around the corner that way. And this, before it was Dunks, used to be the courthouse diner. So,
Oh, you're kidding.
So they'd all, like, all the lawyers and judges, they'd all, like, have a little,
yeah,
oh, that's
a
great.
little deli sandwich.
And also, I learned recently, there was a big fire in this building,
Oh, I didn't know that.
right? I'm in the right building, right?
Maybe?
Masonic building? Or is that the
No,
next building
it's-
over?
it's the next
oh,
one
I'm sitting in
over.
the wrong
Oh,
building.
Yeah,
We
sorry.
can just cut that.
Yep.
That's fine.
So a little bit of a fun question, just out of
Okay.
curiosity. Do you guys have a favorite witch or wizard?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, that was instant.
Phyllis Curott.
I'm going to jot that. I don't know. So educate
Yeah.
us.
She's an actual witch. She's
Yeah.
a Wiccan priestess. She's also a lawyer.
That's awesome.
Has actually been one of the people that, she, in her earlier life, worked a lot in social justice, within the labor advocacy, but then is one of the people that advocated to make being pagan like legal. So like if you wanted to wear your pentacle to school in high school, that you
Yeah.
could do that. Things like that. Those
She
things
sounds
used
like
to
a
be.
badass.
Yeah, she's a badass. They say she was one of the first public witches, so she was just very public about it, and she's just the most brilliant woman, witch, elder, priestess you can imagine, and has the coolest tarot deck you've ever used. It's completely iconoclastic. It doesn't. Most decks, no matter how like feminist or animal or any of those things, are based on the Rider-Waite, which is cool. That's like great core history, but this is very different.
Is that a something you can buy, or is it her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Witch's Wisdom Tarot.
We'll put that in the show notes.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's I use it regularly, and it's shockingly, the guidance is amazing. Do you have anything to say?
I would agree. Angelica has a lot more direct experience with Phyllis, but from what I've listened to and seen, she's incredible. And I'm not that practiced with like tarot, but I've heard people describe the accuracy of some decks, and I guess that's dependent on who you are, but her deck is really stunning. So definitely check that out.
Check it out. It's very
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. So I also have a question here. Is someone you look up to? Is that going to be the same answer, or is there?
I would say my hero is my husband, Eric.
Aw, look at that.
Thanks, babe.
Okay, so now we got to ask you the question.
It's going to be my wife.
Aw.
It's definitely my wife.
So we're on the same page here.
Okay,
Yeah.
full disclosure, I told him I was going to say this last night because I knew he would start crying, which he did.
I did start
And I was like, I don't want to make you cry on
On audio. You can hear
audio.
it.
I was going to be like on video
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not on video. And he was like, but you're my hero too. And then we were just like having a complete like verklempt fest.
Happy crying.
That's
I love
wonderful.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy cries.
That's like I feel like because you guys obviously spend a lot of time together.
Oh.
You know,
the
most
time, yeah.
most spouses don't. You know, working together, living together, being together all the time. That can be a lot. You
Yeah.
really have to be best friends to really make it work.
We really like each other. And like I said, I mean, it's not just like in love, like you are my hero. Like his level of compassion and quirk and wit and love, like I've never known anyone with a bigger heart, and it's beautiful.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, she, I mean, I wouldn't be here without Angelica. I wouldn't be able to grow and be the person I am. And so we help each other grow. We also just make each other laugh all the time. I mean, we just like being with each other. And
We have really stupid senses of humor that jibe,
That's
so
the
that's
best
good.
kind.
it's perfect.
We can just ride the same jokes into the ground forever, and we'll always get a laugh.
I love it.
I appreciate that. Wow, that's a whole lot of comfort.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of all the hopelessly single people out there that are like, no, it's okay.
They're like, I'll never laugh. This is horrible. There's those people who are like angry and miserable in their house.
Well, so the funny thing is, when we met,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm absolutely done dating. I had like a really good life, and I was like, yeah, I'm not. I've had it, and I'm not dating. And like we met, and we really hit it off, and I was like, just so you know, I'm not dating.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what this is,
Are you
but we're
still
not
saying
dating.
that? Is that like a...
I'm not dating, but for different reasons. Yeah. So I was both angry and content. I was
Okay.
resigned. I was like, it's just not for me.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So there.
And look at you now. You are, that's the human endeavor.
Right.
Got a shop full of love.
Shop full of
Yeah,
love,
oh my
living
goodness.
in the place that is truly home. For both of us, we were like, wow, we're really home.
For me, I'm originally from Michigan, and you know,
Which is why she got so excited when you
about the
mentioned
Chicago
I knew
thing.
that.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
so excited. I
Beacon
thought we
Midwest
were
here.
going to have this. Yeah, as long as you spend some time in there, you get the vibe.
Family's from Detroit.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's like so exciting.
Oh, yeah, we can go there.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, any even if a Michigander isn't in your blood, but like your parents' blood, got it.
Oh, yeah.
Love
that
it.
Midwest up there.
Yes.
Is a female Michigander called a Michigoose?
Oh gosh, I hope not. That's hilarious. I have never heard that before.
I might have to get you like a shirt that says
Michigoose.
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 Michigas.
Michigoose. Michigas. That's hilarious. I've never heard that before. I think Michiganders may not like. That's no. That's
Sorry.
hilarious. But anyways, I came out here for grad school almost 6 years ago now, and Salem is the only place that has really felt like home. There's just something about it, and it was almost instantaneous. Just the people, the feeling that you get walking down the street. There's really no other place like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty special. I mean, there's a lot of things to love about it. I think I love how like walkable it is.
that's one of the reasons I had some friends who were like, come live in Salem, you'll love it here and all that. But I've gone to university in Bath in England, and I'll bring this up any chance I get. I didn't like cities, right? I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from the middle of nowhere, Massachusetts. Not quite Berkshire's middle of nowhere. Middle of the state, middle of nowhere. But I thought I liked the woods and all these things. And having then lived there, I was like, it's just like Salem. It's this small, walkable community.
By the sea.
But he's like, I see people, I know people, I get my coffee, I go shopping, and you're always, it's this, and that fills
It's like
you
its
with,
own little world.
fills you with joy.
Yeah, exactly.
There's also no like big box shopping, so it feels very local.
Yeah.
Restaurants and cafes
Which
and
is
retailers,
like just a
etc.
tiny bit annoying. I don't want there to be any of those things, but like, if I need Like I've had people on tour who've not come completely prepared, and they get caught in a snowstorm. Or where can I get a new pair of shoes? My heels broke. My socks. And I'm like, sorry.
Like Walmart's a little bit down the way.
Yeah, you can get an Uber to our Target, which is about a 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
But in downtown, there's none of that. So
thankfully for us.
Yeah.
And you can always get like a sweatshirt at one of the shops, and then you have a souvenir.
You can get some layers and stuff, but there's some things that you just definitely can't get right in the downtown area.
Right.
So a lot of people, all of us, it seems included, have come to Salem for a reason and found this to be a destination. There's people who come from all over the world. But if you're going to leave Salem, where are you going to go? Like a holiday, vacation, where's your getaway?
Well, we are, I was going to say planning. We're almost planning, but...
Pre-planning.
Yeah,
Pre-planning.
pre-planning. We want to go to Iceland in the
Sounds
winter.
so fun.
In the winter.
In the winter.
Winter.
Yes.
Is that usually when people go, or no?
I don't think so.
Have you seen... no, keep talking. I'm going to look it up because I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
Iceland really is a big draw for us, culturally, but also just the spirit of the place really speaks to us. There's some cabins up in New Hampshire are capturing our attention for sure.
Yeah, we went there right after. We went there on the 1st of November.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, we closed the shop for 4 days so everybody could get a breath. And we went to this tiny cabin, like a tiny house, cabin in the woods in New Hampshire.
Upson, New Hampshire or something.
Yeah, and we just it was heaven. It was beautiful. So yeah, we like the woods. We often, well, we haven't in a while, but we like to go up to New Hampshire just for a hike, like in a mountain. So you're like sweating.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said you grew up in the Berkshires. Yeah, so I would think you'd want to definitely get back to some hilly areas.
Yes.
Salem can be a little flat.
So a little flat, not as flat as Chicago.
Not like Chicago, right?
No, not as flat as the Midwest. All we have
Midwest
is
is flat.
farmland and more farmland.
It's strangely flat. It's
Yes.
disconcertingly
Lakes would be
flat.
cool.
It is.
But it's wonderful. I mean, we both love Chicago.
Yeah, that is one good thing about going from Michigan to here. I went from the Great Lakes to the ocean. I don't think I could live anywhere without some large amount of water at this point in my life.
Okay, I can't remember who it is or what his name is. That hot singer, movie star. He did the Netflix documentary on like sustainability stuff, and he like goes to Iceland.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Oh.
Thank you.
How did I know
Not what
that?
I was thinking.
I was thinking Leo DiCaprio.
I'm like,
I was thinking some Icelandic dude.
No. Have you seen it?
I think we started watching it for
So
a second.
there's a whole episode on Iceland and about like their geothermal heating and
that's right.
their economy and all these things. And he goes to Paris and they talk about water and water sustainability.
Yeah.
And I guess how clean, like there's just clean drinking water fountains all over Paris. And there's refillable water bottle stations. You can like buy a water bottle and just refill all over the city. I think it's a law that like clean water has to be accessible to all people.
Yeah, good for them.
Wow.
And so if you haven't seen it,
Almost like we should adopt that or something.
go figure. But no, the going to Iceland reminded me
So that's
Cool.
That's a
Yeah.
plan for the not too distant future.
Yeah.
And Ireland, I love so much. So, places where you can just kind of hop, skip, and jump from here, not too far. If you're flying out of Boston, those places are close.
What about you guys? Can we turn this around?
Oh yeah.
Sure. I guess.
Jeff loves going across the pond.
So yeah. So full disclosure, my father's English. I was born in Canada, so I'm sure here American, but like I have like a whole part of my identity that's not.
Yeah.
It looks the same and sort of feels the same, but it's not the same. And I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to go to university in England. So I was then able to sort of find those roots, I guess, is sort of, it's like, and this other part of me, and there it is. And I hadn't had a chance to go back in a few years because of COVID, so I went back in November. And that was great. And I'm going again in a couple weeks.
Yay.
Oh, yeah, great.
And that'll be fun. And I'm actually, and this is one issue I had when I was over there, is I enjoyed, and I find myself doing the same thing here in Salem, I enjoy the location so much I don't leave. Right? Like I don't leave Salem a lot. Like even like to go to the grocery store, I don't.
Yeah.
you know?
Totally.
So when I was in Bath, I didn't leave much. And I was like, man, I'm right across the channel from Europe. I could go to Barcelona. I could spend the weekend in Cali, you know, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
So when I'm going over there this time, I'm actually going to go down the coast, down through Cornwall, stop at Tintagel, which is supposedly where Arthur's castle was. There is the English Witch Museum over there, which I'm like desperately looking forward to going to see, and that history.
Yoicks.
Yeah, a whole lot. But you know, and the more you know and the more you learn, the more you can educate and understand.
Yeah.
And then down to Penzance, because you know, pirates.
Definitely.
Take me with you.
Next time.
Please break into Gilbert and Sullivan right now, please.
No. There's no alcohol or coffee, I'm sorry.
We'll do this again at Opus.
I love it.
In the backyard in the summer.
I think top of my list is New Orleans, kind of like our sister city almost.
Yeah.
Similar vibe, a bit larger, and the architecture. I went for the first time just before the pandemic hit. Like, I'm pretty sure I got COVID coming back.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was like February 2020. And
I was in Disney.
yeah, you probably got it too. But the architecture there, that's one of the reasons why I love the Northeast. You know, you come from Michigan, the Midwest, where the oldest thing, like building that you may come across is probably going to be early 1800s, where you see structures out here that date to the 1600s. So when you go down to New Orleans, their architecture is something totally different. This cool mix of European and Spanish, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. And it's much like Salem, that it has that vibe, that mystical feel. You walk outside your door and you can feel it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Have you guys been?
I have not. I lived in Austin for 7 years and never made it.
Right, just like you don't.
Just like you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never made it down there. And everybody was going all the time. So, yeah, I regret that.
Austin's actually on my list as well.
Super fun town.
Of all the places to go in Texas, I think that's probably going to be one of the best ones.
Have I been there? Is that the canal? No? Never mind.
That's San Antonio.
That's San Antonio. I love San Antonio.
It's nice.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yeah. You're like, no, I know where that is.
Like,
Do we have anything else?
Other than some of the generic recommendations in town and silly favorite questions.
Ooh, is there any place in town that you guys get coffee at other than your
Yeah.
place?
you know, there's this awesome spot. It's called Odd Meter Coffee.
You know what? I've heard of
I've
those
heard of it.
guys.
I think
Yeah.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, come check us out. Check out Brewbox.
Ooh,
some great
Brewbox.
coffee over there.
We go around. I mean, it's not an understatement to say we don't get out much. We're getting there. But like first year in business, it's a lot. It's a big lift.
But you're coffee connoisseurs, so
We
you
are.
know.
So we've been to every place before we opened, and we go occasionally to places now when we get out, which is rare. We just love that. We love doing that. We like going up the shore a little bit to Little Wolf. Where else?
Yeah. Check out Kid Dream over in Beverly.
we
They just
went.
opened.
That's the last place we
Great
went
people.
to.
Kid Dream?
Kid Dream.
Okay.
Yep, in Beverly. They just opened a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So I think that's the last coffee we've had out. I mean,
Yeah, we just don't get out. But Salem's great. I mean, there's coffee in every direction.
Yeah.
There's something truly for everyone. So check us out. Check everyone else out. Share the love.
We were told when we were, looking for places and sort of meeting everybody before we opened and everything, like the town officials and stuff like that. They were like, Salem is a very caffeinated town. We're like,
I mean,
excellent.
there might
we
be
are.
some reason for that. We have a good, and so the episode that aired previous to this one, we covered Salem's shipping history.
Right.
And some of the more prominent products that were being brought into the city were pepper and coffee.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
your business dates back to like the beginning.
That makes me so
All right.
happy.
Yeah, so like all the old ships and seaports were bringing coffee and stuff back from the ports of the Far East, which is what our city motto is. Literally to the farthest ports of the rich east. But I have a question as a coffee expert. Sarah's looking at me. She has no idea what I'm going to do. our city seal.
Oh my gosh, I know I was going to ask them this. I was going to ask them this.
We're like, oh God.
Yeah. So our city seal depicts a man. Here, I'll show it to you if you haven't seen it before. So it's a man in Eastern-style dress and hat with a ship behind him surrounded by palm trees. And in the bottom right corner are these little bushes. And the seal was designed by a coffee merchant.
The seal was designed by a pepper merchant.
Sorry. The seal was designed by a pepper merchant. However, those look more like coffee plants.
Jeff is convinced that those are coffee plants.
I don't think they are. I don't want to.
Sarah is so validated.
I am
raining
so
on
validated
anyone's
right
parade.
now.
I don't
Dude,
think
I'm
they are,
sorry,
though.
but like, were they getting coffee from Sumatra?
Yes.
They were also getting pepper too. So
Right. Well, that tracks.
yeah,
So maybe they are.
the guy who designed it was a pepper merchant. He came from a long line of pepper merchants, and it was designed during the height of the pepper trade. Jeff is convinced it's coffee,
I
but
think it looks more like a coffee plant than a pepper plant.
Well, I'm just going to say, apparently we come from also a long history of the shameless plug then.
apparently
Pepper guy with the pepper plant.
one of these days we'll get to the bottom of
Yeah.
whether that's pepper or coffee.
It probably doesn't help. You probably want accuracy in this, but
Of course.
you can be what you want it to be if you don't mind.
Right?
Interpret it as
subjective.
you want.
Yeah, I like well,
You know, you want
Art
it to be
is
coffee,
what you
make
make
it
of
coffee.
it.
Sure.
getting back to the bringing it full circle. I appreciate that.
3 sides to the story.
So other than some coffee recommendations, do you have any other recommendations for around this? Like some of your favorite places to go?
Totally.
Oh, totally. Totally. And, you know, the thing is, until it becomes the full level of velocity that October is, we are the first stop off the tee.
Yeah.
And people will come in and ask us for recommendations. So we feel like we're the cruise directors. You know, we send people off to lots of different places, but we definitely have... I mean, there are so many good places we can't talk about it all, but we have our favorites.
Favorite place to
Yeah.
grab dinner?
For us, we love Ledger.
Ledger.
Again, shout out to everyone else in Salem. Just favorite.
Opus is fantastic
Opus is
in the
awesome.
backyard, especially in summer. It's just like the best vibes, and the food's delish.
Settler around the corner is fantastic if you
I-
want something very intimate.
We like fancy food.
Oh, it's fancy.
I
food.
have yet to go to Settler.
Really?
It's on the top of my list.
It's
I'm very
good. I've been
excited.
twice.
Yeah, very good. We love Coven's Cottage if you want like a true pagan
Old
shop
religion.
experience.
Yep.
House Witch is awesome for kind of modern.
The Modern Witch.
Modern Witch, I guess.
I
Definitely.
think those are the two places that we shop a lot for when we need or want
Yeah.
things like that.
Right.
Emporium 32 is awesome.
Do a lot of gift shopping there.
Yeah, gift
Yeah, we
shopping
love
there.
them.
Yeah, a little biased, but one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's really
Yeah,
fun.
no, just saying it because it's an awesome place.
That's one of the things is people come here, and I guess anywhere that I go, I was like, what are the locals like?
Yeah.
Like, well, where? And what's great about Salem is some of these sort of more quote unquote witchy places are still local and authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some great bars around here. Oh my God, we're gonna end up naming every business in
I know.
Salem at this point.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We'll cap it at that.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Awesome.
some personal recommendations. Obviously, anyone can come in and pick your brains for more.
Absolutely. It depends what you're looking for, too. I mean, those are the places we frequent.
Oh, All Souls Lounge is pretty cool too.
Oh, yeah, it's
Oh.
a good.
And Deacon Giles.
Oh yeah. Oh, my God,
yeah.
Deacon Giles. There you
Kind of
go.
like off the beaten
Off-
path. Yeah, I love that place.
Fun
That's what we were gonna
vibes.
say.
Michelin star drinks. I mean, wow, are they good?
Maybe not literally Michelin.
Okay, not literally.
They are Eric starred.
Eric Starr.
Have you done a tour of the distillery? I think they still do that now. Oh yeah, pretty
No.
cool. They'll bring you back into that back room area and show you how it all works.
Yeah,
All right.
it's so cool.
We gotta do it.
Definitely,
Put that on your
definitely.
list. Yeah.
I think we just touched on one of the things that we'll say, like, don't ask someone in Salem, like if you're visiting, is what's off the beaten path?
Oh,
What's off the beaten path? I'm like, it's like a 1.5 mile square. There's nothing off the
There's no
beaten
off
path.
the beaten path.
There's nothing. It's all beaten.
I'd say off the beaten path would be the Willows.
Right, but most people are walking.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
mean,
I feel
how far do you
like,
wanna walk?
Yeah.
They want something like witchy or historic or whatever. I'm like, it's all right here.
Right.
It is the path.
Yes.
See the red line right there?
Just
Right.
follow that.
Throw
Do
a
you tell
rock,
people
that
that?
seems
Just
cool.
follow the red
Follow the
line.
red line.
I won't be there for long.
Really?
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
oh, okay.
You
Construction.
love to tease things.
I know. They're redoing it. So repainting it, revamping it, but it's going to be gold.
Oh, yes.
Cool. Nice.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that's what they're going for.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
Do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about before we wrap things up?
This has been really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Good.
you all for
Y'all
doing
are good
this.
at this.
No. Oh my God. No. We are. I feel like we have been kind of stumbling through creating this thing. So
See,
it's
I told
been
you we're good.
okay.
I don't know what's behind the scenes, but like in the interview part, it's really fun.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you.
Thanks for making it easy.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out to us too.
Yeah.
This has been cool.
Thanks, and you're our second interviewees, so it's been a bit of a guinea pig situation.
Cool.
And coming into the shop has been really fun. So
Cool.
Well,
thank you for
Otherwise, it's
having
mostly
us.
just the two of us. Just
Yeah,
Just bantering.
Yeah,
Good.
That
Good.
sounds fun.
yeah. You'll have to let us know what you think when the podcast drops.
I
and,
can't wait.
Yeah, see what
2 thumbs up.
I hope.
I think it's going to be April 9th.
Nice.
What?
Got all the stuff
Cool.
about Dunkin' Donuts. I
What?
want to get sued.
What's April 19th?
Duncan, we love you.
There's okay. There's like we're dropping
Oh,
episodes
but-
the 20th of March.
But you'll appreciate we are dropping on the equinox.
Yeah,
Good.
we're going to
Spring.
start
So
the
on day of spring
podcast.
is when we're
Beautiful.
putting the first episodes out.
What is the first episode, or is that a secret?
Well, so the first episode is just the two of us for like 20 minutes telling people that.
What this is going to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
Great.
that the intro episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
People know what they're getting into.
exactly.
I think this is going to be great. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
excited
people are
about
going to love it. I guess the one thing we didn't know about Salem was like how obsessed people who don't live here are with
with
Salem.
here.
We did not know that, like, at all. And so, I mean, I think that's like really cool and sweet, and like people get married here or they come for their,
It's on people's bucket lists.
it's
Yeah.
bucket list. and
Birthdays.
They follow all the like blogs and podcasts
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
So I think y'all will do great. We got, the Hocus Pocus thing coming, maybe, who knows?
But you guys, do you want to talk about that real quick?
Well,
Are you guys in it?
Oh, they're huge.
you never know though. I don't want to jinx it.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
like all of that could be on the cutting room floor.
okay.
But they completely made a set.
Of Odd Meter.
Yeah, like an outdoor one, not the inside.
No, but that's
yeah.
so cool.
And there's stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know. So
We'll see what makes it
we'll
into
see.
the movie.
Yeah, like you never know. Like there could be nothing of us. Like that happens all the time. So
But what happens to the props after, Jeff?
Oh, did I tell you guys this?
I think you told me, but you might as well
Yeah.
say it again.
So I am also,
Yeah.
thanks to you guys, I'm fairly certain. But I emailed the guy who had contacted me, and I was like, "Hey, when everything is done and wrapped, can I get that thing that you put on the trolley?" And he's like, "No, sorry, we have to keep that for reshoots or if there's a sequel. So they just get stored in the Disney archives."
wow.
And so I was like,
Never mind.
Okay.
That's okay.
Pretty cool.
I mean, I want it, but no
But
way.
like it's in the fucking
Like where
Disney
it is,
archives.
so your whole that big sign and everything.
Odd Meter is
The
going to
whole
be
front.
in the Disney archives.
We're gonna have to repaint the back wall to make it look like.
Totally. They redid, from what we've seen, they recreated the storefront in their own fashion.
Right.
And now we're gonna have to redesign our shop.
You're gonna have
a
to
little
cover. It was a big square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very true to brand though. They
Yes.
nailed it.
Yeah.
And the set designers came up after wrap, I guess, or at some no, because they're still going, I think. But at some point they came up to have a coffee, and we were like, "Oh my God, you did so good!"
so
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Very much looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, me too. I'm
yeah.
excited.
All right. Is that it? All
Thank
right.
you both so much. This has been great.
No, thank you
Thank you.
guys. Thanks for joining us.
One last quick thing. Do you guys have anything to say to anyone listening? Any advice? Any words of wisdom?
Any last thoughts?
Floss daily.
Wear clean underwear.
Hey, that is some fantastic advice. I love it.
Fantastic advice.
That's it.
That's all we got.
All right.
Well,
All right.
Erica, Angelica, thank you for joining us today and talking on all things coffee and your business. We really genuinely appreciate what you do here in Salem for everyone.
Thanks, Sarah.
who
Thanks,
comes.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. We appreciate
this is
you
great.
giving us the mic.
Yeah.
Of course. You were awesome guests, and I'm sure listeners will be very excited to hear this and then come in and get a cup of coffee.
I
Can't
hope
wait
so.
to see you. Yeah.
And where are you? Right up. What's the address?
Oh, 60 Washington
Washington
Street.
60 Washington Street, right in the
Washington
heart of downtown
Street.
Salem.
Right in the thick of things.
Come
Think
get
of
a
it.
coffee, come get a hot dog, come get an ice cream, all in the same day.
It's all on the same
Same
block,
building.
not
And
here.
those are two different-
Not at one store, but
See a lawyer too.
Okay.
It's a day.
That's upstairs.
That sounds like a weird day.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you guys again. And for everyone listening,
be sure to subscribe, tell your friends, leave us a review, and follow us on all the socials. We are at Salem the Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
and if you have any questions, feel free to email us at hello@Salem the Podcast. And of course, if you're visiting Salem, want to take a tour with either Sarah or myself, links are in the show notes. Thanks for listening.
See you later.